Before the military district dance competition, my husband's childhood friend pleaded with me to give her the lead dancer position. I refused her request on the grounds of collective interests. In a fit of anger, she quit the cultural troupe, transferred to a civilian job, and got married. Meanwhile, I performed excellently in the competition, leading the dance team to win first place in the military district, and as a result, I was promoted 2 ranks in a row. Later, I retired due to pregnancy and gave up dancing. When it came time to give birth, my husband deliberately locked me in the house, causing me to suffer from a difficult labor and hemorrhage. I mustered my last breath to ask him why. But he said viciously, if you hadn't taken Shan Shan's lead dancer position, how could she have married an uneducated brute and died from domestic violence? Every hardship Shan Shan endured, you will suffer 100-fold. Hearing these words, my heart turned to ash. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day the dance team was choosing the lead dancer. A white light reflected off the mirror in the practice room, stinging my eyes. I looked at Wu Shanshan, who was half crouching beside me, still wearing the dance team's practice outfit. Zhuanzi. I'm already 27 this year. If I still can't show off in front of the chief and make something of myself this time, I'll really have to change careers and get married. Can you please ask the regimental commander for me? Just say you can't make it this time and let me take over the lead dancer position. I touched my flat stomach and looked at my slim, well-proportioned reflection in the mirror. It turns out I've been reborn. And I've been reborn on the day the dance team is selecting the lead dancer. In her past life, Wu Shanshan said the same thing, begging me to give her the lead dancer position. But I refused her out of a sense of responsibility to the group, telling her that even as a backup dancer, if she danced well, the audience would still appreciate her. She said I was hypocritical, that I just wanted to hog the lead dancer spot and steal the spotlight. I said that after the competition, I would try to get her a promotion opportunity. She retorted, what's the use of a promotion? What I want is to marry a chief's son. Do you think the chief's family would choose a backup dancer as their daughter-in-law? Only then did I realize that she danced to climb the social ladder. Seeing no hope of becoming the lead dancer, she directly transferred out and married a rich local match introduced by her family. Later, I led the dance team to win first place in the military region's cultural performance. The regiment commander was overjoyed and promoted me 2 ranks in a row. Just as my dance career was flourishing, my husband forced me to go home to have a child, even deliberately poking holes in the condoms. I couldn't bear to give up the little life growing inside me. Forced to give up dancing, I stayed home to await the birth. But when it came time to give birth, my husband not only refused to take me to the hospital but also locked me in the room, leaving me to suffer a hemorrhage and difficult labor. I pounded on the door, screaming for help at the top of my lungs, but he turned up the music to drown out my cries. When I was barely breathing, he stood outside the door as if he had finally avenged a great wrong. If you hadn't taken the lead dancer position from Shanshan, how could she have ended up marrying an uneducated brute and been beaten to death by him? Every hardship Shanshan endured, you will suffer 100-fold. I never imagined that the person sleeping beside me would wish me dead so fervently. In the end, I collapsed in a bloody hemorrhage amid Zhao Qingye's demonic, twisted laughter. My child, not yet born, was killed by its own father. Reborn once more, I will make them pay blood for blood. I pulled myself out of the memory and saw that Zhao Qingye had entered the training room at some unknown time. He looked at Wu Shanshan's pleading expression, his eyes filled with heartache, then turned to persuade me, Zhuanzi, you're still so young. And you'll have plenty more opportunities to dance in the future. Just let Shanshan have this one, I said coldly. The lead dancer is chosen based on skill. Even if I don't take it, the troop leader might not pick her either. Hearing this, Wu Shanshan immediately knelt before me. Zhuanzi, can you please plead with the regiment commander for me? Wu Shanshan grew more and more agitated as she spoke, crying, and even kowtowing, her head thudding loudly against the floor. Zhuanzi, if I don't become the lead dancer this time, my family won't let me keep dancing anymore. you don't want to see me end up transferring to a civilian job with regrets, do you? I tried to help Wu Shanshan up, but she was determined to embarrass me and refused to get up no matter what. Zhao Qingye, seeing Wu Shanshan's pitiful state, was furious and cornered me against the wall. Zhuanzi, with your talent, you could easily become the lead dancer. But Shanshan is different, counting on this chance to prove herself and show her parents that her years in the dance team weren't wasted. Can't you just let her have this one time? I looked down at the bandage around my ankle and clenched my fists in anger. I dance well because I train hard. People say I have great talent. But what they don't see is that I'm the first to arrive at the practice room every day and the last to leave. I sprained my lower back while practicing grand jetés. Afraid the troop leader wouldn't let me train, I gritted my teeth and pushed through. But the pain kept me awake night after night. For this lead dancer selection, I ate only one meal a day to control my weight, and my practice clothes were never dry from sweat. But what is Wu Shanshan doing, relying on her seniority in the dance team? She slacks off all day long. Her mind is entirely focused on networking, constantly inviting leaders to heavy drinking sessions. Fortunately, the troop leader isn't fooled by her tactics. Otherwise, someone like me, who only knows how to train hard, would never have stood out so quickly. Thinking of this, I immediately refuted Zhao Qingye without hesitation. I was selected as the lead dancer based on my ability. Why should I give it up? Besides, the troop leader said that the lead dancer is the soul of the team. With Wu Shanshan's skill level, do you really think she can lead our troop to first place? Zhao Qingye sneered. If that's your attitude, then what? The dance troupe can't function without you, He Huiwan. Don't think too highly of yourself. The other troop members, spurred on by Zhao Qingye's words, chimed in from the sidelines. Who gets to be the lead dancer anyway? He Huiwan, don't think you can look down on others just because you're good at dancing. Seeing that this group was determined to force me to give up the lead dancer position, I agreed without hesitation. Fine, since everyone thinks the lead dancer is so unimportant, then the selection results are void. And Wu Shanshan will be the lead dancer. I will also withdraw from this competition, and starting tomorrow, I won't come to rehearsals anymore. As I spoke, I put on my coat, turned around, and headed home. Wu Shanshan became anxious. No, who allowed you to skip rehearsal? If you leave, who will teach me the lead dance moves? I raised an eyebrow and spread my hands. Then it depends on your ability. But I still need to remind you, didn't try to steal the spotlight and drag the team into losing the competition. Wu Shanshan stood frozen in place. Everyone also came to their senses, realizing the stakes involved. After all, it was a minor issue if Wu Shanshan couldn't be the lead dancer. But losing the competition was a major problem. If the honor of the entire team was sacrificed just because Wu Shanshan wanted to steal the spotlight, it would not be worth it. One by one, they turned against her, accusing Wu Shanshan of being selfish and only thinking about herself, without considering the collective honor. Others chimed in, saying that Wu Shanshan wasn't after the lead dancer position at all. She just wanted to show off in front of the chief and his wife, hoping to catch the eye of a high-ranking official's son. The remarks grew increasingly harsh. And Wu Shanshan, hearing this, became anxious, tears streaming down her face. Zhao Qingye, seeing this, felt even more distressed and angrily rebuked me. He Huiwan, you're projecting your own pettiness onto a noble person. Shanshan is not that kind of person. If you want to leave, then leave now. Stop stirring up trouble in the dance team. I looked at Zhao Qingye's brazen expression and curled my lips. Fine, then I won't hold everyone back from training in the dance team. Everyone. I wish you all the best in winning first place in the district under Wu Shanshan's leadership. When everyone heard that I was really going to quit, they completely panicked. They all started blaming Zhao Qingye, an outsider, for meddling in our dance team's affairs, saying that if we lost the competition, he wouldn't take responsibility. Some even cursed him for acting like a big shot in the dance team just because he was a member's family, and urged him to quickly coax me back as the lead dancer. Zhao Qingye was forced to speak up and try to keep me Juanzi, how could you just leave like that without any sense of team spirit? If you just apologize properly to Shanshan, this would all blow over. Why does it have to come to you dropping out of the competition? I stayed silent, slung my bag over my shoulder, and walked out of the practice room. Zhao Qingye got anxious and grabbed me, his strength carrying a hint of threat. Am I being too nice to you? Didn't you hear me telling you to stay and compete with them? I yanked my arm free from his grasp. If you're in such a hurry, you can go fill in as a backup dancer. But let me make this clear, I will never, under any circumstances, take part in this competition with Wu Shanshan. With that, I walked away without looking back, leaving a mess in the rehearsal room. If it weren't for Zhao Qingye working as an officer in the troupe, I wouldn't have settled for being a lead dancer in a local arts troupe. At first, because our fathers were comrades in arms, I got married to Zhao Qingye through an introduction from the family. Over the years, his father couldn't get promoted in the local military region. So Zhao Qingye could only rely on family connections to hold a cushy job in the art troupe. But my father had just received a transfer order to become the commander of the provincial military region, though he kept a low profile and didn't inform the in-laws. When I got home, I called my parents and told them everything about how Zhao Qingye helped an outsider take my leading dancer position. My father was furious upon hearing this, saying that the commander's daughter shouldn't have to endure such humiliation. The next day, I quietly submitted a divorce request to my superiors. Within 3 days, the news about Wu Shanshan forcing me out of the dance troupe for the lead dancer's position spread like wildfire throughout the compound. Many in the troupe felt outraged on my behalf, and the troupe leader, under pressure from higher-ups, flew into a rage, declaring that the troupe's atmosphere needed to be rectified. I wrote a report detailing the whole situation and submitted it, then requested a week off from the troupe. I planned to use this time to find another practice room and focus on preparing for the provincial dance troupe selection. The troupe leader, valuing my talent, suggested I directly sign up for the solo dance division. I had just filled out the competition registration form and was on my way to submit it at the troupe when I ran into Zhao Qingye, who was dropping off Wu Shanshan for rehearsal. He caught a glimpse of the header on the form in my hand and said in an annoyed tone, "What? Can't join the group dance, so you're switching to a solo, not to say, Juanzi, with your mediocre skills. If it weren't for someone in our troupe covering for you, you really wouldn't be fit for the stage." I shot him a glance, but he had no intention of shutting up. Instead, he blocked my way. "Listen, go back. Don't embarrass me in front of the entire military district if you mess up the solo," I sneered. "I'm just dancing my own dance, what does it have to do with you?" Zhao Qingye blurted out, "Of course it has something to do with me, or my wife. If you come in last place, it makes me look bad." "It doesn't matter. I won't be your wife for long." Ignoring him, I walked straight in and handed in the registration form. A week later, free from the distractions of the troupe's trivial matters, my dancing skills had improved by leaps and bounds. As I was leaving the practice room in the evening and heading home, I saw Zhao Qingye storming over with Wu Shanshan in tow. "He Hui Wan, if you're not confident, don't compete. What's the point of pulling strings with the military district leaders behind the scenes? Are you trying to bribe the judges?" Many dancers preparing for the competition in the practice room overheard and gathered around. I was completely confused as I watched Wu Shanshan step out from behind him. "Juanzi, I saw everything. You rode in a military commander's car out of the compound, hugging and being very intimate. Someone also saw you meeting with a teacher from the Provincial Dance Association. How do you explain all this, hearing this description?" I laughed. He dialed the Provincial Military Command's office phone in front of everyone. The call was answered by a secretary, who said the commander was in a meeting and would be out in about an hour. Zhao Qingye's eyes were full of disdain. "He Hui Wan. Stop pretending. Who do you think you are? You think you can get the commander to come and explain things for you?" Seeing more and more people gathering around, I simply called everyone to the small square. Then he pulled Wu Shanshan to the center of the square and asked her to describe in detail what she had seen. As Wu Shanshan saw the crowd, she shrank back, refusing to step forward. Zhao Qingye completely ignored me and directly put his arm around Wu Shanshan's shoulders, urging her to speak up. She glanced at me and said, "That officer had a pretty high rank. When he saw you, he reached out to welcome you. And then you two hugged and even held hands while getting into the car. You two were standing really close, and he even turned around to hand you a gift wrapped in a red bag. Look, the chief's car is parked right over there." Wu Shanshan pointed to the roadside not far from the practice room, and someone in the crowd chimed in, saying they had indeed seen a car there a couple of days ago. I asked him if he had also noticed me being intimate with a man. He said he didn't recall. Zhao Qingye, standing by, was impatient. "Shanshan, didn't you also see them getting handsy in the car? Speak up boldly, people like that don't deserve any face." I let out a soft laugh. So there was an embellished part thrown in too. What a fine spectacle of half-truths and mudslinging. Oh? What kind of handsy behavior are we talking about? Wu Shanshan, you can't just slander people with empty words. I suggest you think carefully before you speak. A sharp female voice rang out from the crowd. Juanzi, stop trying to scare Shanshan. Who's to say you got the lead dancer role fair and square? You just weren't caught last time. I looked at the speaker. It was Song Yang, the former lead dancer of the team. Ever since I emerged, the troop leader had increasingly overlooked her. Later, the son of the logistics director pursued her relentlessly, so she left the troop and married him, but she harbored a grudge in her heart. When she held her wedding, she invited the entire dance team to the banquet. But she didn't invite me. Wu Shanshan had always been close to her even before I joined the troupe. Wu Shanshan was her little sidekick. Now that she had someone backing her up, she brought up the matter of the lead dancer again. Wu Shanshan, as if receiving tremendous encouragement, grew even more emboldened. Anyway, they don't look like ordinary friends, and they even went to the military district guesthouse. What do you think they were up to? As soon as these words were spoken, a commotion broke out among the crowd. That young girl looks so pure. Who would have thought her private life was such a mess? Not only that, this young lady is Minister Zhao's daughter-in-law. She's already married but still can't behave herself. Zhao Qingye's face was burning with anger as he grabbed me. He Huiwan, how dare you fool around outside? Just wait till I deal with you. With that, he raised his hand to strike me, but instead of the sound of a slap, Zhao Qingye's scream rang out. Ah! A handsome, sturdy man had seized his wrist, squeezing it until his bones creaked. A general's daughter is not someone you can just hit whenever you feel like it. The one who stopped Zhao Qingye was my dad's bodyguard, Zhang Bin. He came just in time, otherwise, I really wouldn't have been able to dodge that slap. I shot him a grateful glance, and he nodded at me. Zhao Qingye struggled for a moment. And only then did Zhang Bin release him. What, Commander? He Huiwan, you're really something. Not only can you hook up with the old, but you can also find a young one to put on an act with you. Keep your mouth clean. I'm a guard at the Provincial Military Command. Zhao Qingye was taken aback, and seeing him in civilian clothes, he became even more brazen. What proof do you have? I. Zhang Bin was tongue-tied and couldn't speak for a while. So I told him not to rush. Zhao Qingye, seeing Zhang Bin stammer, was convinced that he was an imposter. I can't quite put it, but my wife's father is indeed from the provincial military district, though he never rose to the rank of commander. Using that to scare people. You think we in the military district have never seen high-ranking officials before? Zhang Bin pulled me aside and explained that he was originally on leave, but the old chief was worried something might happen on my end. So he sent him over first to check things out. He had meant to look out for me, but he never expected not wearing his uniform would cause such a big problem. Now, instead of helping, he had dragged me into it. He kept apologizing to me, and I comforted him, saying it was fine. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have seen Zhao Qingye's such a snobbish face. Wu Shanshan laughed out loud when she heard Zhang Bin say I was the daughter of the provincial military district commander. So that's the angle, just because you're the commander's daughter. Does that mean you can gloss over the fact that you pulled strings? So, can any woman who seduces an old man just claim he's her father? The onlookers all agreed that Wu Shanshan had a point and accused me of sophistry. I wasn't in a hurry. After all, once my father arrived, the truth would come to light. But Wu Shanshan couldn't wait and insisted she knew the commander's daughter Guan Xijia from the neighboring theater troupe. That's not wrong. But Guan Xijia's father was promoted last month and is probably heading to Jingbei soon. Song Yang said from the side that she would go fetch Guan Xijia, and today she was determined to tear off my hypocritical mask. I thought, since they were willing to go through all this trouble, maybe this matter could be resolved before my dad arrives. When Guan Xijia arrived, some of the onlookers had already dispersed. But she was born to stand out. Before she was even seen, her voice had already cut through the crowd. I heard there's a commander's daughter here. Let me see. When I gained another sister, Wu Shanshan stood by, laughing, waiting to see me make a fool of myself. Zhao Qingye also folded his arms, watching to see what tricks I still had up my sleeve. Hearing her voice, I couldn't help but curl the corners of my mouth, thinking to myself, no wonder she joined the drama troupe. With that level of vocal skill and that powerful voice, staying in this local troupe really was holding her back. Guan Xijia walked in from the periphery, tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear, her eyes radiating charm and allure. My gaze shifted from the crowd to me, sitting idly on the side. She froze for a moment. It's you? Wu Shanshan saw Guan Xijia and quickly stepped forward to stir things up. She's the one who said she's the commander's daughter. Guan Xijia, your father doesn't have any illegitimate daughters outside, does he? I thought to myself. All those drinking sessions Wu Shanshan usually attended were a complete waste. What a tactless set of remarks. Guan Xijia frowned in displeasure but still responded to Wu Shanshan's words. I haven't heard about that. Then she must be your dad's lover. I saw with my own eyes your dad giving her gifts. The two of them were hugging and cuddling. I looked at Guan Xijia, who wore a playful expression. You know my dad? Then tell me, what does my dad look like? Your dad is tall and thin, wearing glasses. And held He Huizhuan's hand as they got into the car. I saw it very clearly. A flicker of disappointment passed through Guan Xijia's eyes, and Wu Shanshan quickly linked her arm through Guan Xijia's wrist, pretending to be close. Don't be upset. Now I've rooted out that mistress for you. Not only does she refuse to admit seducing your dad, but she's also impersonating his daughter. Don't you think she deserves a lesson? Like what? Like disqualifying her from the dance competition? No. Better yet, just break her legs so she can never dance again. Zhang Bin immediately stepped in front of me upon hearing this. I sneered coldly. This Wu Shanshan was truly vicious. Guan Xijia's eyes widened as she shook off Wu Shanshan's hand. You're overestimating me. Even the roles in our drama troupe, I earned them through my own ability. How could I possibly have the influence to reach into your dance team? And to break her leg, that would be a serious disciplinary offense. Wu Shanshan, undeterred, whispered on the side, your father is the military district commander. The cultural troupe's dance team is just a word from him. Besides, if you were to crush someone as insignificant as her, where would she even dare to seek justice? Oh, so, by that logic, since you helped my dad catch the fake daughter, should I give you a commendation? Wu Shanshan's eyes lit up at that. No need for that. Just let He Huizhuan honestly return to the dance team and properly teach me the lead dancer's moves. You're not too vain, not thinking about asking for anything else, just wanting her to teach you how to be a good lead dancer. Wu Shanshan actually blushed at Guan Xijia's compliment. I laughed out loud, so hard that tears almost spilled from my eyes. Guan Xijia, annoyed by the noise, snapped, stop laughing. Are you enjoying the spectacle? The crowd was taken aback. baffled by Guan Zijia's words. Unable to figure out what was going on. I stood up, opened my arms to welcome Guan Zijia, just as my father had welcomed me that day. But I held her even tighter. It's been so long, where the hell have you been? Guan Zijia was still as blunt as ever. But she didn't seem as domineering as she was when we were kids. I patted her on the back, and after a long moment, we finally parted. I then held her hand tightly. It was even firmer than when my father held my hand. She turned her head to look at our hands, a wistful smile spreading across her face. Turning to Wu Shanshan, she said, 7 years ago. My father's hand was blown through by a bomb on the front lines. I've never seen him hold anyone's hand since. Everyone gasped in surprise, and Zhao Qingye stood up straight, his expression changing. Wu Shanshan's face turned pale, drained of all color. Impossible. He Huiwan clearly hooked up with a chief from the military region, if not the commander, then who else could it be? Zhang Bin couldn't stand it any longer and stepped forward to warn Wu Shanshan to restrain herself. The screech of a military vehicle's brake sounded, and then a tall, thin man, around 50 or 60 years old, wearing glasses, got out of the car. A few silver strands mingled in his hair, yet his back remained straight. He wore a neat military uniform. And everyone saw the rank insignia on his epaulets quickly lining up on both sides. He raised his hand in salute. "Hello, Chief." Wu Shanshan trembled at the sight, while Zhao Qingye squinted his eyes and called out hesitantly. "Dad." I saw my dad and finally couldn't hold back my grievances, throwing myself into his arms. He patted my back to comfort me, repeatedly murmuring that he had come too late. Wu Shanshan kept stepping back at the sight until her back pressed against Zhao Qingye's chest. "Qingye. The person I saw was him." "What nonsense!" Zhao Qingye shot her a sharp glance and strode forward to meet them. "Dad, what are you doing here, and you?" "Got promoted." My father met Zhao Qingye's gaze, which was fixed on his shoulder insignia, his expression dark. "Well, I just received the transfer order and haven't had a chance to talk to your dad about it yet." Upon hearing the news, the regiment commander rushed over without a moment's delay to welcome the provincial military district leaders. The moment he saw my dad, he immediately saluted and asked if the chief had any instructions. My dad told me to speak out all my grievances. I pointed at Wu Shanshan and poured everything out in one breath. "Dad, the day before yesterday you came to see me, brought me some things, and arranged for me to stay at the guest house to rest well these few days. But Wu Shanshan insists that I'm currying favor with the leaders and pulling strings just to get a good ranking in the dance competition. Not only did she say I falsely claimed to be the commander's daughter, but she also accused me of seducing the senior officer and cheating on my husband. Everyone around me said I was telling the truth." My father's face turned icy cold as he looked at the regiment commander. "I told you long ago that the atmosphere in your regiment was unhealthy. And you said you would rectify it immediately. Is this the result of your rectification?" The regiment commander was sweating profusely, his back soaked through. "You're right, Chief. It was all my fault for not managing the dance team's discipline properly, allowing them to gossip recklessly. I will punish them severely when I get back." My father remained silent. The head of the troop immediately called Wu Shanshan over. Trembling, she couldn't even manage a simple "Hello, Chief." When she looked up and met my father's stern gaze, her legs gave way, and she fell to her knees. She raised her hand and slapped herself several times. "Chief, I was wrong. I shouldn't have falsely accused your daughter. Please let me off this time." The troop leader jabbed Wu Shanshan in the ribs with his elbow, clearly annoyed. "Wu Shanshan, your name was already on the demobilization list. Back then, it was he Huiwan who pleaded for you, asking me to give you more time to be evaluated, so you could have the chance to compete for the lead dancer selection. I never expected you to repay kindness with enmity and bully her to this extent." Wu Shanshan lifted her head, her eyes full of confusion. "Why? I didn't want to deal with her anymore, but I still let out a sigh. Who hasn't reached the day when they can no longer dance? Everyone wants to finish their last dance with grace even if they're not the lead. The captain looked at her coldly. Wu Shanshan. Since you don't cherish this opportunity, then you won't participate in this dance competition. Additionally, the troupe will give you a major demerit. Pack up your things as soon as possible and move out of the dormitory. Your transfer procedures will be processed by tomorrow. Wu Shanshan sobbed uncontrollably, completely breaking down. Zhao Qingye, standing nearby, wanted to say something but fell silent upon seeing my father's stern expression. My dad has been wanting to settle scores with this son-in-law for a long time. My dad asked the regiment leader to dismiss everyone, saying he needed to handle some family matters. When we got home, my father-in-law and mother-in-law also rushed over, apologizing profusely. My dad said they were all comrades in arms and he never wanted things to come to this, but he simply couldn't take it anymore. The father-in-law shouted, ordering Zhao Qingye to kneel down. You little brat. You've gotten quite capable. Last time with the lead dance incident, I told you to apologize to Zhuanzi. Did you do it? Zhao Qingye remained silent, so the father-in-law pulled out a whip and lashed him again and again. Soon, streaks of blood seeped through his back. And the mother-in-law tearfully begged her husband to stop. The father-in-law ignored him completely. Now you dare to bring Wu Shanshan in front of Zhuanzi, making a scene and falsely accusing her. Tell me, how do you think others will see Zhuanzi? How will they see our Zhao family? You've truly humiliated me completely. Zhao Qingye finally couldn't bear it anymore and spat out blood. Dad, Shanshan has had a hard time too. I just wanted to give her some justice. What's wrong with that? You still dare to say that? Do you still not think you've done something wrong? The father-in-law's whip lashed even more fiercely, and in no time, Zhao Qingye's back was a bloody mess. I watched from the side, the smell of blood making me nauseous. My father noticed my discomfort and didn't want to drag things out any longer. Old Zhao, I just wanted to tell you today that these two kids aren't right for each other. I've already had Zhuanzi submit the divorce report. And it's been approved from above. Let's just call it quits between our two families. I'll take my daughter home in a bit. Upon hearing this, Zhao Qingye abruptly lifted his head and met my eyes. You want a divorce from me? What gives you the right to divorce me? I just said a few words on behalf of an outsideress. That really such a big deal? I let out a cold laugh. It is a big deal. Your heart isn't with me, and I don't care to be with you either. Seeing Zhao Qingye showing no signs of remorse, the old man felt a mix of frustration and disappointment, and the force of the whip in his hand grew even heavier. The muffled groans eventually turned into pleas for mercy. And I walked away amidst his hoarse cries. Zhang Bin helped me load my luggage into the car. As I opened the door to get in, I pointed at his casual clothes and raised my hand to block him. Are you from our military district? How dare you sit in the chief's military vehicle? Everyone burst into laughter, and Zhang Bin's face turned red as he stammered again. Next time I go out on business, I'll definitely wear my military uniform. Seeing that I was able to joke again, my father felt relieved. A week later, my solo dance won first place in the military district competition. And the provincial dance troupe directly admitted me ahead of the usual selection process. Within less than a year of joining the provincial dance troupe, I became the lead dancer. From then on, my dance career continued to flourish. Many of my father's friends tried to set me up with potential partners, but I politely declined. Perhaps my heart was solely devoted to dancing. I wanted to dance for a lifetime. Later, when I met Zhao Qingye again, he looked so weathered that I didn't recognize him at first. During the major military downsizing, Minister Zhao did everything he could to keep Zhao Qingye in the army. So Zhao Qingye missed the golden period of going into business and muddled along for several years in military administrative units. Wu Shanshan did end up marrying Zhao Qingye, but the two of them were not happy. Wu Shanshan always complained that Zhao Qingye was not ambitious. didn't earn much and held no high official rank. Zhao Qingye also looked down on Wu Shanshan for constantly nitpicking at him. He often compared her to me, saying that her father was just an ordinary soldier who was of no help to his career, unlike my father, who was the commander of a military district. Over time, Zhao Qingye developed a drinking problem, and Wu Shanshan grew increasingly reluctant to come home. When I ran into Zhao Qingye, he was trying to buy liquor on credit from the grocery store owner. I heard he owed the man several $1,000s for alcohol. In the end, that debt was never settled. The day after I saw him, he got drunk, lay down on the roadside, and froze to death. Wu Shanshan, upon hearing the news, didn't wait a single moment and immediately remarried a wealthy local man introduced by her parents. A rough, uneducated man. When I heard the news, I felt that fate was a cycle, but luckily this time, I had stepped out of it. In this life, I am no longer bound by anyone. I belong to dance and I belong to myself. This is already enough.